Hey guys, welcome back to another video. So let's check out another flashlight. This time I have the Powertac E5R Generation 4. Let's check it out. Alright, so here it is out of the box, the Powertac E5R Generation 4. But before I dive into the flashlight, let's check out the box here. So you can see right there it has 1800 max lumens, has a max runtime of 45 days, but we'll get to that later. Has a max throw of 320 meters. It is impact resistant up to 2 meters, and it is rated IPX8. And flip it to the back of the box, it just has a bunch of stats that I'll go over a little later on in this video. Alright, so here's everything out of the box. So, comes with this plastic holster here. Now, I'm not really a holster person, but this one isn't that bad. So let's put this down, and it also comes with this nice little lanyard here. And next, we do have this USB magnetic charging cable here. And I really like this cable. It's almost like a shoestring. Check that out. We have a couple stickers here, product registration, something about the battery, and then we have our user manual. And check this out, inside this little plastic bag here, we have a large key ring. Then we have a little miniature key ring right there. And then we have a spare O-ring right there. And then if I flip it over here, see that little black piece right there? That's to change out the magnetic charging capabilities of this flashlight and turn it into a micro USB charger only, and I'll show you how to do that a little later on in this video as well. Alright, so let's take a closer look at the E5R Generation 4. Right dead center of the body, we have it labeled Powertac, and then we have E5R Gen 4 right on the other side. So on the back side, we do have a pressure sensitive rear tail switch. So it's real simple, one click on, one click off. And this button is rubberized, it's not metal. So we do have a pretty heavy duty pocket clip here, which is reversible. So you can see you can either have it on this side, which I like it because it's lens down, or we can take it, flip it to right here, and then it'll be a lens up carry. And this whole body is machined out of aircraft aluminum. So it feels real heavy duty. And check out this aggressive texturing on it. So it doesn't feel like this would slip out of my hand at all. This is actually pretty nice. So right here near the tail switch, we do have a couple lanyard holes, along with another lanyard hole right here on a ring that can actually move around. So I can switch it to wherever I wanted to and just tighten down that back tail cap. Now let's check out this striking bezel here. So if I get a real close look at it, it's not very aggressive at all. I've seen a lot of other striking bezels that were way more aggressive than this. So I can rub my fingers like this across it and it's not sharp at all. But it's still there if you want that striking bezel. So right here we have our side switch, and this is gonna switch between our different modes. Then also when we're charging this flashlight, it's gonna have an indicator light. It's gonna have red for charging, then blue for charged. Then right on the opposite side of that, we have our magnetic charging port. So here's our charger. If we wanna charge it, all we have to do is boom, that's it. So now that I plug the charger in, you can see it glows blue. That's pretty cool. And then let's do that again. So attaches right to it, and on the other side, you can see it's glowing blue because this is 100% charged. So I'm letting this run for a couple seconds. So if it needs juice, when I plug in the magnetic charger, there you go, it shows red. And that's also gonna act like our battery life indicator. If we're under 30%, it's gonna stay red. And if it's under 10%, it's gonna flash red. So it only has two warning levels, under 30% and under 10%. All right, so let's talk specs. We've got a length here of 5.24 inches, a bezel diameter of 1 inch, and a body diameter of 0.906 inches. And they say this weighs 2.68 ounces, but that's without the battery, so let's test that out right now. All right, I have the battery out of it, so let's test that out. So 2.7, so yeah, they said 2.68, they're right on the money. They probably weighed it without the pocket clip and this little lanyard ring right here. So as we switch it over to grams, it does weigh that 76 grams like they say in the user manual. And let's put the battery back in it because we're never gonna carry this without that battery. So we plop it on there. What does it weigh? 124 grams. So let's switch that over to ounces, and it shows it weighs 4.4 ounces. So remember before I mentioned this little black rubber piece that was in this plastic bag? So that's if you don't want to use the magnetic charging capabilities of this. You can just use a normal micro USB. So what you want to do is you want to take this little magnetic charging port out. So the easiest way I saw to do that is just take any knife really and get up under there and just pry it out. There's the magnetic charger and there's your micro USB. And what you want to do is just put this little rubber piece right over it as so, and then boom, So I really like this. The biggest complaint I see with people not liking the magnetic charger is, what if you just leave this at home and forget about it? Then how do you charge your flashlight? Well, Powertac says if you forget your magnetic charger, you just peel off this little magnetic charging port and then you can use any common micro USB. I love it. And to put that back in, just take that little rubber piece out and let's line this up correctly as so, and just press it back in. So this is a pretty cool charging solution by Powertac. All right, so let's talk about the user interface here. So the tail switch here switches between the 5 modes. So to activate it, you just gotta press in that rear tail switch here, and there we go. So to change the modes, we just single click that side switch. So this is a pretty easy and simple user interface by Powertac. And it does have memory built in for all 6 modes, and that 6th mode is strobe. So yes, you can even save the lowest setting and the highest setting if you want to, as long as it's there when you turn it off. It'll just recall it as soon as you press that tail switch. So check out, let's do Moonlight, which they call Firefly. So if it's on when I turn it off, turn it back on, boom, there's Firefly. Now let's turn it to Turbo. Right there. I'll show you right here, then turn it off, turn it back on, right back to turbo. And yes, there is a direct to strobe option too. So to get to strobe, turn it on and then press and hold the side switch, and there's our strobe. So to directly access it, we just rely on the memory. So if it's on strobe, turn it off, then we turn it back on, boom, there's our strobe. So I really like that this flashlight remembers every single setting through the tail switch as long as it's on when you turn it off. So the Firefly settings is 0.33 lumens, and that lasts for 45 days straight. So as you guys know, I love that lowest setting that's 1 lumen or under, and this is only 0.33 lumens. Then we go to the low setting, that's 57 lumens at 17.4 hours. Then we go to the medium setting, that's 214 lumens, and that runs for 5.38 hours. And then there's high at 850 lumens, that'll run for 2.2 hours. And then we have that 1800 lumen turbo, and that'll run for 2.1 hours. And then that strobe I just showed you, that's a 670 lumen strobe, and that'll strobe for 4.53 hours. Now all these numbers are based off this 3.6 volt, 3200 milliamp 18650 battery. This will also run off of 2 CR123As, but the numbers are a little different. So you can see here the Firefly is exactly the same on the CR123As, but if we go to low, you'll still have that 57 lumens, but we lose about 7.2 hours. And at the medium setting, it's the same lumens, but we lose about 1.38 hours. On the high setting, we lose about 1 hour, but we gain 10 lumens. What's up with that? And the turbo mode, it will not run off the 2 CR123A batteries. And I always have to check that ring test. So right here on Firefly, you can see that nice little ring on my palm. So I really love that. So that's Firefly, low, medium, high, turbo. So I can already feel my hand getting hot here. So what I want to do is I want to check the temperature. I'm going to let this run for about 2 minutes on turbo, check the head temperature, check the body temperature, and see what it comes out to be. All right, so it's been sitting here for a couple minutes. So let's just get a readout. So the body's reading 89.2, so it's probably still not cooled down 100%. And this is 89.9 at the head. So what I'm going to do, it's already set to turbo. I'm gonna turn it on and try to click start. At the same time, let it run for a couple minutes and then retake those temperatures. So let's see just how hot this thing can get. So you ready? And go. All right, there's 2 minutes. So let's get a read on the body. That's giving us 102.2. Let's get a read on that head. Huh. 120 exactly. So that's pretty interesting. That's not the hottest I've seen before. And touching it is definitely hot, but it's completely manageable. All right, so next they say this is rated IPX8, which means you can drop it in about 6 feet of water and have it submerged continuously and it'll still work. So I don't have 6 feet of water, but I just have about 6 inches of water right here. If it can handle 6 feet, it'll be able to handle these 6 inches. So I'm gonna turn it on. I'm gonna turn it off of turbo though. Let's do medium and plop it in and right to the bottom. They don't float. And yeah, as expected, it's going to be able to handle 6 inches of water, especially if it's rated 8. The problem is if you're on a boat on a lake and you drop this in the lake, you might be in some trouble because they don't float. They just drop right to the bottom. So it can withstand 6 feet of water, just not anything over that. All right, so let's dry this off a little bit. So the next thing is taking this bad boy out to my backyard and showing you the different modes. So the fence in my backyard is about 45 feet away. So I'm going to show you the different modes hitting that back fence. And I actually want to compare it to something very comparable. So I want to compare it to the M2R Pro by Olight, because They're both 1800 lumens. The Olight has a max throw of 300 meters, and the Powertac has a max throw of 320 meters. So I'm really curious how they stack up against each other. Let's go out to my backyard and check these guys out. Alright guys, that's pretty much it for this video. What do you guys think of the Powertac E5R Generation 4? So yes, Powertac did get a hold of me and they sent this to me to review. And all they wanted was an honest review, and hopefully I gave that to them. When I get things into review, it never persuades my opinion on them. I try to be as honest as possible. And my honest opinion on this is, yeah, it's not a bad little EDC flashlight. I mean, 1800 lumens, a 320 meter throw, the magnetic charging capabilities and the USB charging capabilities. Rated IPX8, it's actually pretty light for its size. We have a tail switch here for on and off. We have direct access to strobe. I really like this flashlight. Now, if you guys want to pick one of these up, I will have a link below in my description box directly to the Powertac website. Now, on their site, these do retail for $114.95, but wait, I have a special code just for my subscribers. That's right, it's CT40. That's right, you can get this bad boy for 40% off if you use my code. So go to that link in my description box, type in CT40 at checkout, and get this thing for 40% off. But if you guys did enjoy this video, please give me that thumbs up. Please subscribe, and go!